Hi, my name is Shreir. I've lived in Israel for about 9 years. I'm originally from the United States, from Nebraska. I made Aliyah in 2008. The short version is that most people do not know the history of the Yehuda and Shomron. The last legally recognized borders for the Jewish state, not for Israel, but for the Jewish state, were established in 1920 at the San Remo Convention. Now, I believe we should withdraw immediately to those borders. Now, what we're going to do with Damascus and what we're going to do with Amman and the rest of Jordan that was part of the Jewish state, we'll figure out. But the point is, do not let anyone tell you that that land is occupied. Somebody needs to understand the law. The last legal owners of the land were the British, who left. In 1948, when the State of Israel was founded, the Arabs chose not to accept a state. The land known as Yehuda and Shomron was occupied illegally, by the way, by the Jordanians from 1949 to 1967. Nobody bothered to say boo. Now, the Palestinian Authority, or the PLO, came into offense in 1964. If you talk to these people, you'll find out that they will tell you, in fact, that it is a legal fiction. There has never been a state of Palestine. There has never been a currency, a language, a contiguous territory, or a government. This entire problem stems from the fact that we will not stand up and say, this is ours, end of the discussion, forget it. If you want to murder a Jew and you want to commit a terrorist attack, you and your family will be immediately expelled from the state of Israel. If you want to go and you want to be a preacher or an imam and tell people that they should go out and murder people, that is inciting to violence. It is against the basic laws of the State of Israel, and you should likewise be immediately removed. Should you be a member of the Knesset and speak out against your own state, there's a strange law called treason. It's not something that should be permitted. All of the legislatures which I am familiar with in the Western world do not permit this. But this, by the way, includes the British Parliament, the Congress of the United States, the Australian Parliament, and Canada, and most civilized nations. So there is no reason in the world not to tell the truth and not to understand what reality is. Our challenge is that we wish to apologize for things we don't do wrong. We wish to listen to the European Union, which is not a good idea, and it's time to say enough is enough. For nearly 70 years, we have been asked to bend over backwards. The Palestinians have received more money in purchasing power and in real dollars than all the money that went to the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe, and there is nothing. If you want another simple comparison, the Jews of the world make up somewhere between 0.2 and 0.3% of the total population of the world, yet we have won 23% of the Nobel Prizes for science. Our cousins, who make up almost a quarter of the population, have won exactly 0.3%, or one award in the more than 100 years. So the next time somebody tries to tell you something, or a block away you see these people telling you you should end the occupation, use the phrase, we believe Israel should immediately withdraw to the last recognized borders of the Jewish state. Now, when you say withdraw, they're thinking of the 1967 armistice line, which, by the way, they have no idea what is said there. The armistice language says, put in by the Egyptians, this is an armistice line, and we shall establish borders by negotiation among the parties. That was put in not by the Israelis, by the Egyptians. Our ignorance, not necessarily the people here, but our collective ignorance of history and the law and reality is what gets us in trouble. If somebody could please tell me how we could bring back Menachem Begin, I would be a happy camper. I thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.